Hello my friends, my name is Rich and welcome to Greatest Rock and Metal. On Greatest Rock and Metal I talk about what are for me the greatest rock albums, bands and gigs of all time, based on listening to thousands of albums and going to hundreds of gigs over many years. Please press the red button to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy to do and it won't take you very long. Thank you very much. Today I'm going to be talking about the 20th anniversary of this great album, Iowa, from Slipknot. Released today on the 28th of August in 2001. So 20 years ago today we got this monster of an album. And many consider it to be Slipknot's greatest album. It certainly took them to great heights, and unbelievably it took them to the top of the charts in the UK. Now that just doesn't happen. It's very, very rare that rock and metal bands can get to the top of the UK album charts. And for them to achieve that in those days, it was an amazing feat, and me as a Slipknot fan was like, yeah, so excited. And I was there on the first day of release as well to pick up my copy. And brilliant to listen to this album, because I'd been a Slipknot fan from right from the beginning. And I'd already seen them live and was really waiting with great anticipation, as many were, for what Slipknot were going to do next. We didn't even know if Slipknot were going to do anything after their first album, as there's always been a lot of tension in the band. So when this was finally released in August 2001, we were like, yes, another Slipknot album. A bit of history about the band. The band were formed in Iowa, title of the album. They named it after the place they were from in the United States. Formed in 1995 by drummer Joey Jordison, percussionist Sean Clown Crahan, and bassist Paul Gray. Now sadly today, two of those three are no longer with us. Paul Gray we lost in 2010, and then only just a few weeks ago Joey Jordison died as well. In fact, Joey was no longer in the band anyway. He'd been fired in 2013, so we haven't had the delights of Joey in the band since then. But a great loss to the world of metal. So their debut album was released in 1999. This one here featured on the shirt from the first gig that I saw them in. I was lucky to be at the Astoria gig when they came to the UK for the first time, but more on that another time. We're here to talk about the Iowa album and Iowa tour today. And they became the metal band after the release of their debut album. Everybody wanted to see them. They had this crazy, chaotic show. You never know what carnage was going to go on stage. It was really exciting to see Slipknot live. And no metal band had ever had 9 members before. Not only 9 members all wearing their own unique kind of Halloween mask as well that they created. Unbelievable sight to see Slipknot. And they took a bit of Cannibal Corpse, took a bit of Korn, took a bit of Kiss, took a bit of Slayer and Faith No More, and they mixed it all up and came up with this Slipknot sound that we still know and love today. Iowa, this second album, was mostly written by Paul Gray and Joey Jordison, as most of their earlier stuff was. And it's a fantastic album, even darker and heavier than the debut album, which seems almost unbelievable to think. And producer Ross Robinson, who was like one of the top metal producers at the time, really drew out all the anger and hatred that the band had for the world, that they had for members within themselves, within each other, and he was able to capture that on this phenomenal album. What's also amazing about this, and what Slipknot have been able to achieve as a band, is this is an extreme band. This is an extreme metal band. They have screaming vocals, they have blast beats, they have massive riffs, serrated riffs, but also they're lucky enough to be able to create some amazing melodies, and that's what's taken Slipknot to the top. It's not just that they're brutal and as metal as fuck, but they got brilliant melodies to their songs, and obviously an amazing singer in Corey Taylor who's able to deliver those melodies as well. And that's really, once again, the key to the success of this album, the great melodies throughout and the brilliant, brilliant songs contained herein. This was an anniversary CD reissue. I've got the original one somewhere that kind of had like a silver foil cover to it, but this is a nice anniversary reissue that also featured the soundtrack of one of the gigs from the Iowa tour, which was one filmed here. Disaster Pieces DVD filmed in London. It's the set on the Iowa tour. So, what about this album then? What are my favourite 4 tracks from the album? Well, first, let's take a look at Rock T-Shirts by the Sea. So what are my favourite 4 from the Iowa album? Well, it starts right at the beginning, after we've had a little bit of craziness to introduce the album, with Sid apparently throwing up, and they captured that. We get straight into one of the heaviest songs in their catalogue. People Equal Shit. Blood-curdling screams start the track. You got blast beats going off all over again, all over the place, and then we get from Corey, "Here we go again, motherfuckers!" And then we're off and running into a fantastic song. We got crazy electronic sounds going off all over the place from Sid and Craig, which will complement the amazing guitar work of Jim and Mick, and fucking hell, what a song! What a heavy as fuck song, and I absolutely love it still to this day. And it's closely followed by Disaster Piece. It is anything but a disaster piece. You have an amazing opening riff, joined by the bass and the percussion, and then another proclamation from Corey and vocals. This time it's, "Nobody stop me!" And then, "I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound." Really? Really? I want to slit your throat and fuck the wound? Awesome! That's what we need from metal lyrics today. Where are they? Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. And once again, it's a stunning ride of a song. And what can I say? Just hear it, hear it, hear it. The next track I will choose, one of their hit singles, "My Plague." You've got staccato drum and riff that introduces the song, and an almost rap-styled verse from Corey, which leads us into this massive melody that kind of comes out of nowhere. And "I know why you plague me." Brilliant melodies, like I say, on Slipknot songs, and Corey delivers it just superbly. And one of the things I really love about the My Plague song is is that dichotomy. You've got the really brutal verses and then the sing-along chorus to go with it. Awesome. And then the next track I would choose, my fourth track, is the Heretic Anthem. You get a great sample to start off the song, and then we're into a stunning riff again, and another blood-curdling Corey vocal scream, and just a great chorus. I really love this song. There's also a brilliant breakdown section towards the end of the song before the carnage kicks in again. Great stuff. Iowa, brutal as fuck. And one thing that really gets forgotten with Slipknot a lot, the quality of the musicianship is just unbelievable. And it really is quite amazing that they had 6 studio albums and a 20-odd year career now, and they're still festival headliners all over the world, play big arenas all over the world as well, and we often forget this is an extreme metal band. They don't pussyfoot about. This is real extreme metal with just amazing melodic choruses, and that's what they've been able to achieve, and are no better than they did with Iowa. So what about the Iowa tour? Well, we got a taste of Iowa at the Ozfest in May 2001. You'll see there that Slipknot were second from top on the bill behind Black Sabbath at the UK Ozfest. And that gave us a little bit of taste of what was to come on the Iowa tour, and stunning gig that was, but that's for another time. It wasn't until February 2002, and this very faded ticket that you won't be able to see, from their gig at the Cardiff Arena. So I'd waited a year since the Ozfest to be able to see them again in the UK, and they brought the big full production for their Iowa tour that they were now doing. It was incredible in such a short space of time. From the success of the debut album in '99, they'd become this stadium band, and they put together a stadium show befitting not stadium, arena I should be saying, an arena-sized show befitting of their newfound status, and it was coming to the UK. We're fortunate enough, I mentioned it earlier, the Disaster Piece album, DVD, shows what that tour and the stage production was like, and that was just a couple of days before the gig that I saw in Cardiff. And this has been the first time that many people have got to see Slipknot in the UK, because they hadn't done a big arena-style tour before. We'd had a couple of one-off gigs, and then a small a university tour. I saw them at Bristol University as well on the first album tour. But now we got them big style, and it was a brilliant set list. We had all the best songs from their 2 albums played that night. We had 8 from the debut album and 6 from the Iowa album. And I mentioned the stage production. We've got now Clown and Chris on their elevated percussion drum risers. Joey's got his own elevated drum riser that can also spin 360 and go up an angle. Last seen by me on the Tommy Lee experience on the Theatre of Pain tour all the way back in the mid-80s. Joey Jordison brought back the spinning and upside down drum kit type thing. Well, this was an angular one at this time, and we got a red pentagram in the center that was lit up as he did his drum solo. Awesome. And another great little thing that they did was like during the song Gently, I don't know whether it was meant to be snow or like nuclear dust would fall on the band as they were playing. Great effects. And as always, the band were completely chaotic on stage and put on a stunning performance. And they've continued to do so for many, many years. Despite the various lineup changes, they still put on a hell of a show and produce fantastic albums. So there you have it. That's my thoughts on the Iowa album and tour, 20 years since it was first released. Thank you very much for watching. Please press the red button to subscribe to the channel. It's free, it's easy to do. And remember, as always, we rock!